Welcome
back
to my.
Cancel it.
Yeah,
we're canceling
start
the show.
over. Start over.
We're not even starting. We're canceling
if this show had a is just the show's over now?
Yeah,
because I forgot to mute my phone.
We're just canceling the whole thing.
Welcome. We took a week off because a tornado hit our town, and we're back. How's it going? How have you been?
I've been all right. Hanging out, chilling like a villain. I haven't watched any more A24 movies this week.
Yep.
Because I watched them all last week.
Yep.
So I'm feeling the withdrawals, my dude.
You know, here's the deal. The tornado hit our town, and I was completely unaffected. My internet was still up. My power is still fine. And your internet went out. And you watched the movies, and I didn't. So, what does that say about me as a person?
Why are you giving yourself less excuses? Like, I was going to let it slide. Have you just be like, yeah, no, we got hit by a tornado, so I didn't watch them. But no, now you've ruined it for yourself.
Yeah.
You just outed yourself, man.
Yeah, no, I totally could have. In fact, there was no damage to our house, so...
And even we lost half a tree.
Yeah.
You haven't seen our
I
tree.
drove past your house the day after, just to see what the damage was like. I think I saw you had... It didn't look that bad from the road, but...
It's not.
Okay.
We just need to get a chainsaw and cut it up and then take it out.
Oh, I was cutting up trees with a chainsaw last Sunday.
Yeah? Over at the church?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I finally saw the south side of town.
Yeah.
And the graveyard over there.
Yeah, the one that I used to live by.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, and you said the graveyard by our side of town was bad, and I checked it out, and I'm like, it's not that bad, but I think you said it was bad because you hadn't seen the other one.
No, I hadn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it looks like a big steamroller just went right through it.
It doesn't, like, when... So I worked at a pizza place, and I went out on delivery, and I looked at it, and I'm like, holy crap.
Drive through that neighborhood.
That's
the neighborhood
crazy.
I used to live in. It's insane, the damage.
Well, and then I was coming back, and I could see the limestone hills that are behind that cemetery.
Yeah.
Like, way too early. I'm like, I shouldn't be able to see those.
Oh, no, it was surreal driving around that neighborhood. Because like I said, I lived there the first 14 years of my life. And there's a lot of trees there, and there aren't any more. there are significally fewer trees there. It looks really open now instead of with all the trees there used to be.
That was that graveyard.
Yeah,
is torn up.
Well, it's crazy because the trees that got snapped. We'll start the episode eventually. The trees that got knocked over. They weren't like pulled. You probably saw they weren't like pulled up by the roots. They were like snapped off right down the middle.
Yeah, it's
and
nuts.
It was like whoa.
Well, and it looks like just something just went. Poof.
Yeah, it looks like
over.
Paul Bunyan just swung a club and just knocked everything over.
Yeah,
it was insane, man.
Oh,
I was shocked when I first drove past there. It's like man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then I watched Slice. So, a lot of disasters these days.
So let's start with Slice.
Let's start with Slice. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Slice?
Slice was an incredibly fun movie to watch, besides the fact that it was not good.
Yeah, no, Slice isn't good. I actually, quality-wise, I was reminded of Barely Lethal. Because... it felt like a fake movie. You know, you know what I mean? Barely Lethal felt like a joke movie that would have like a joke trailer and like a like Tarantino's Grindhouse thing. Remember, like all the joke trailers in that? That's what Barely Lethal felt like.
See, it didn't feel like that to me. Barely Lethal just felt bad to me.
Right, but no, for me, I was just like, is this a real movie or is this some kind of prank? Slice felt like that too.
I think that's what it was supposed to feel like, though.
Oh yeah, with Slice, I feel like it's intentional. With Barely Lethal, I think they're just bad. Slice is just pointless. Like I don't get nobody was inspired when making it. Nobody was like, oh, I really care about what I'm doing, you know? It was so... I want to say a cash-in, but, like, what are they cashing in on? I don't even know.
Oh, you know that fan base that really likes that one actress who's in it, and really likes Chris Parnell.
The one that played Domino in Deadpool.
Yeah, the one who plays the main girl in Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
And
I really like
Chance
her.
the Rapper's in it.
She was all right in it. She wasn't great.
I mean,
but
nobody was good in it. Like, Chris Parnell was okay. Nobody, like, Chance the Rapper was like, he didn't embarrass himself, but he's clearly not an actor. Nothing was great about it. It was just kind of... But like you said, I agree with you. It was fun. I wasn't, like, looking at my watch and constantly checking how much time was left. I was engaged. I was having a pretty fun time.
yeah, it was just...
I mean, I wasn't, like, enjoying it. It's hard to explain. I wasn't like, wow, this is so fun. I was just more like, there are things happening and I'm like, the monkey part of my brain is entertained. like just somewhere in the back of my head, I'm just, it's like a baby, like, looking at like shapes and colors on the TV. It's like, I don't hate what I'm seeing. I'm just kind of idly watching things happen.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's like...
Oh, that's really funny.
But no, that's how I felt about Slice. I should explain, or we should explain, Slice is a comedy horror, which isn't particularly funny, nor is it particularly scary. It has a genuinely interesting...
You're right, but damn.
Yeah. It has a genuinely interesting premise. That's the one main thing I'll say about it. There's a ghost town, which is literally, in this world, when somebody dies, they come back as a ghost, but a ghost in this universe is completely corporeal. They're just a dead person.
Yeah, and it's totally normalized.
And it's totally normal. There's a ghost town, which is like a slummy ghetto where all the ghosts live. And it's super weird.
Yeah, they buy real estate, they have jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a pizza place, one of the main pizza place. And this movie features pizza delivery people. They're getting picked off by a killer, and one of them's a ghost already. And whenever somebody dies, they come back as a ghost. Which kind of lends to the whole this is not scary thing, because there's absolutely no consequences for death.
Yeah. Well, there's this amazing scene where the main actress goes in... This is like the one scene that actually got me.
Yeah.
She goes into an alleyway and she's chasing down the werewolf guy.
Yeah, it was Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper. He's a werewolf, and she's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about all this stuff going down." And then somebody comes up behind her and just stabs her, and she's like, "Oh my god, did I just die?"
She's like, "Oh man, that sucks."
God damn it.
Yeah, I was like, eh.
And that was the one part that I'm just like, that's pretty good.
Okay. This movie, this movie was about as bad attempts at comedy as Barely Lethal, but this movie, they just didn't care in a sense that's almost charming. The amount to which they didn't care in this movie is like...
Well, and it seems like
kind of endearing.
And it seems like they had a fun time just making a movie.
They were just having fun with it, and they're like, we know this isn't like art. We're just, making a fun little movie, little Halloween movie.
Yeah, it's like what I did yesterday in my 2D design class. I spent an hour playing with pastels, Sharpie markers, and graphite crayons.
Yeah.
Just seeing how they work together and being like, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, right. And then you accidentally made Slice.
Yeah.
And then you released it, and then we watched it on this show.
Yeah, and it made some money. It was all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Slice is like, it is one of the bad A24 movies. There are good A24 movies. There are painfully mediocre ones like Trespass Against Us comes to mind. Just the most bland movie imaginable. And then there are bad A24 movies. And this falls in the bad category, but I do still recommend it. Because it's if you want a cheap, fun Halloween movie, go for it.
So wait, I think we should add another category.
Yeah?
Good, bad movies.
Good, bad. Have we seen any good, bad A24 movies?
No, I think this is the first one.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost...
Unless Life After Beth. That has some good, bad parts.
Good. Life After Beth is a fundamentally bad movie, but I loved it. So
yeah, so we got 2 good, bad movies in A24 class.
Right. Both of them are like, afterlife comedy horror movies.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
How about that?
Do you remember that scene in Life After Beth where he chains her to a washing machine and then throws her off a cliff? Spoiler alert.
Oh my god. Do you remember when that movie actually had some actual scary parts in it for like a hot second?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Remember that bit where like all of her old relatives came back to life? And it was actually that scene is still stuck in my head because I'm not even gonna say that scene was funny for a movie like that. That scene was legitimately hilarious.
It was just really well done.
Like if you were to see it in like a good movie, you'd be like, oh, that's great. That's one of the better scenes in here.
Yeah, it was really well done.
It was really, really good. Anyway, enough about Life After Beth.
A movie we already talked about ages ago.
We talked about months ago. Slice, yeah. Check it out.
It was alright.
It's okay.
Yeah.
On a slightly more serious note, we did just see the end of the tour. And
with Jesse Eisenberg and Jason Segel.
Yes. With Jesse Eisenberg and Steven Seagal. It was really good. Don't look at me like that. This is how I keep myself entertained, right? I just swap out actors for other actors. That's just all my humor. This is the one thing I have. Don't take it from me.
Oh my god.
The end of the tour is just phenomenal, and it is really, really special. It's a real diamond in the rough for this whole series. I'm gonna put right. Yeah, I'm gonna put it near the top for my list for sure.
I would too,
because it's actually great, and I'm actually gonna rewatch it.
Yeah.
A lot, I think.
I last week I put this as my movie of the week, and I stand by that still. Like it's a fantastic movie.
Yes, it's okay. So we should explain what it's about. It's about
David Lipsky,
Lipsky, and the other David, the writer,
David Foster Wallace, the writer from was it Michigan?
I don't know.
Somewhere cold.
Yes. Speaking of cold.
Our neck of the woods.
Yeah, they go to Minnesota.
Yeah, they go to Minneapolis. And the MOA.
There's a scene where they show up in an airport and they're like, "Welcome to Minneapolis," and I thought it's just going to be a throwaway thing. When movies have their characters in Minnesota, it's clear that they're just like they're not shooting in Minnesota. And then the next shot is them driving around downtown Minneapolis, and then the next scene is them, Jason Segel and Jesse Eisenberg in Mall of America, just sitting.
And eating food.
I've sat at that exact table.
Yeah, I've been there.
Right? I was like, wow, okay. And they're just hanging out, and they go see a movie there. And it takes place in 1996, so it was this action movie with Scientologist guy.
Tom Cruise.
Not Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is the only Scientologist to ever exist.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, this movie's got some Minnesota...
I think Will Smith is a Scientologist as well.
Is he?
I think so.
Whatever. I don't care. I could not care less. There's a Church of Scientology in St. Paul. St. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the end of the tour.
Yeah, what about it?
Just great.
Good.
It's just great.
So David Lipsky from the Rolling Stones is doing a writing piece on David Foster Wallace about his book, Infinite Jest, which was supposed to be this phenomenal book. And this movie kind of hypes it up so much that I am almost ready to go buy it.
Yeah, I want to read it.
Yeah.
Because I know the name David Foster Wallace. I know nothing about his work. And this movie makes me really want to go read his books.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a very, very interesting character study. And Jason Segel does a fantastic job. And so I just, the heart of the matter of why I like this movie so much is it does this thing. What I said to you is you don't see a movie like this very often, or more specifically, I don't see a movie like this very often. What I meant by that is there's a lot of philosophy in this movie. There's a lot of just Jesse Eisenberg and Jason Segel just sitting down and, philosophizing at each other. And a lot of it is what I hold. A lot of it is ideas that I hold near and dear to my own heart, and it's a lot of morals and ideals that I agree with. So that helped a lot, and I felt like it really spoke to me.
I don't think they're all that controversial, too, which really helps kind of push this movie.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people can really get behind the stuff in this. It's like, it was nice to see a movie where it's just like the writers of this movie, they get it, and I'm sure a lot of it's based on the writings of David Wallace, and that makes me want to read his books. He's just got this good outlook. He's woke AF, as the kids say. He's got this good outlook on life, and there's a philosophy I really agree with. So that's ideally that's the main thing I liked about the movie. And then there's the music's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really non-intrusive, but it was written by Danny Elfman.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that until the very end. And the acting's just great. It's from the school of acting where it's really subdued and not very flashy, and it just feels real.
Yeah. And that's part of why I believe this movie didn't go anywhere as far as notoriety.
Yeah. It's what they call a mumblecore movie. Is
that a thing?
Yeah, which is to say movies that are very like this, have this vibe.
They're
where
very,
it's
very
just
tame.
Two very mellow people just talking about the society and lofty themes and stuff like that, and it's like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I just like sitting down and researching and talking about people with too.
Yeah.
Philosophy is such an interesting concept, and the different types of philosophy and how they interact and how they're similar and different. You can find some really interesting people out there with some very interesting ideas. And then to sit down and watch this movie, it's just watching two people with different but similar opinions just sit and talk. Yeah. And it really is something that I enjoyed immensely.
Yes. And there is, drama behind it. There's this constant theme of David Wallace is very happy to talk to David Lipsky,
mm-hmm.
About all his ideas and his life and whatnot. But there's this constant kind of tension that that he keeps saying what we're talking about right now isn't real because you have an agenda and I have an agenda. I want to be portrayed in the best light possible and you want to write the best article possible. And so there is drama that comes from that, and there's heavier character drama. And this movie, not to spoil too much, it portrays a bit of a falling out between these two, and it's the most realistic falling out I've seen in a long time. Because it does that thing where, like, we've all experienced this, where you're super angry at at a person, but you're in a situation where you have to be around that person all the time, and it portrayed that in a very realistic light. And we've all had those awkward moments where it's just like, I'm really not happy with this person, but like they're my ride, that kind of thing. And it's like,
well, and this movie, as boring as it sounds, like it keeps the interest.
Oh yeah, I kind of
throughout the whole movie.
I kind of wish it was longer. I at the end of it, I didn't want it to end. I just wanted it to keep going.
Well, and you have such an interesting relationship between these two Davids.
Yes.
A tale of two Davids.
Yes.
Like they have this almost romantic relationship between them.
Yeah.
But mentally romantic. Like they connect in very, very similar ways that allows them to become closer as individuals, not on a romantic level, really, but...
Well, there were, me not knowing a lot about the story, there was times where I actually thought it was going that way. Because there are times where it's like, it feels like a romance movie between the two of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's almost set up like that.
Yeah.
It's filmed like there's these two kind of star-crossed people. Like, they're not lovers, but they are definitely two people that feel like they should be,
I would say,
together.
David Lipsky
friends
is
or partners or whatever.
Right, yeah. I feel like David Lipsky is like in love with the idea that David Wallace represents.
Yeah.
Like there is a kind of devotion and attraction there, not physical attraction, but like mental attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very, very interesting pair of people, and their interactions are just so engrossing, and you really get to know these characters, and you really feel invested by the end of it, and it's just a very, very good movie.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything more to say about it.
No, because I don't want to spoil anything or ruin anything, because I just think everybody should go see it if it sounds like your kind of movie. If you don't like movies where two offbeat people philosophize at each other for 2 hours, if it doesn't sound like your thing, it won't be, because that is just what it is. So if you're not into that kind of thing, you won't like it all that much, but if you are, I think you're gonna love it. So
yeah,
give it a shot.
So this week,
Slice is the definitive winner, in my opinion, because the end of the tour didn't have Werewolf.
You're right.
It didn't have Chance the Rapper.
You're right. Chris Parnell didn't get his throat cut in end of the tour.
No. He didn't draw naked women constantly.
Yeah.
So, what can you do? I
what
don't make the rules. I just have to abide by them. No. Obviously, End of the Tour is the winner this week, and this was a fun week. Two very different movies that are kind of equally interesting to talk about, because one, because it's so well made, and one, because it's so so next week, what do we...
I'm frantically catching up with that because once again we have forgotten.
Yeah, we have forgotten to choose. I think it's my week, isn't it?
It is your week.
Oh boy, it's on me then.
It's on me.
Okay. I'll be right with you. I'm just gonna bring up
this is awful.
I'm just gonna bring up the website on my computer here.
This is awful. So we have Dark Places for sure.
Dark Places.
Dark Places.
Sick.
And then it's your choice.
Hold on, I'm just gonna see what Dark Places is, because I have no clue.
Here, you look at your movie, and I'll tell you what Dark Places is.
Okay, Dark Places is directed by Gilles Paquette Brenner, and it stars Charlize Theron and Chloe Grace Moretz. So I'm looking forward to it.
You know?
Oh, never mind. Darn it, I had a good one, and then I realized it's not even out yet, so... Can't do that. God.
You know, Chloe Grace Moretz.
You know, Chloe Grace Moretz.
I hate you.
Hey, the Children Act's on their website now.
The
Sick.
Children Act?
Yeah, it's got Emma Thompson and Stanley Tucci in it. That's not my choice, but just wanted to clarify.
Stanley Tucci?
Yee. We could do 8th grade and go see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I don't really want to, but it is a possibility.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I'll get back to you on that.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
God.
Hold on.
This is my life now.
I'm gonna find one that we're gonna watch.
How to
Just
talk to
you
girls
wait.
at parties. First Reformed. Backstab.
Oh! That's it. First Reformed.
Okay, we got it.
A couple weeks ago, I was planning on doing First Reformed, and I did it. So I'm gonna do it this week.
Cool.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds good. Okay, so ours
sounds
is
great.
the one with Chloe Grace Moretz, and then First Reformed with Ethan
Oh.
with Amanda Seyfried
I hate you.
and Cedric Kyles
I hate
and
you.
Ethan Hawke.
I hate you so much.
Do you know anything about First Reformed?
No.
It's gonna be a good episode.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it either. It's about a priest.
Great.
Or something like that.
Ethan
I don't
Hawke
know.
as a priest?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay,
a
cool.
religious figure. Anyway, see you on the next episode.
Catch ya on the flip side.
Yes. Goodbye.